like the idea of bringing the Euro into play here for Nightblood. I think the biggest thing is coming off that 13-4. Can they actually execute correctly? That's my biggest worry for them right now.
Yeah, like one of the things too that the desk talked about just at the top of the series was Son of Car having a little bit of a slow start and then suddenly being able to pick it up. The playstyle that we've seen them use Son of Car in, it tends to be a little bit, hey, Son of Car, go in there, go find some kills. And honestly, SAD Esports were doing a really good job at keeping that in check. But with Yoru's kit, it becomes just a little bit easier. And well, Son of Car has put in enough reps on Yoru, so I imagine that there should be some comfortability here. And already looks like no under a lot of pressure is SAD. Get ready to move in onto this A site, but no, comes out on top.
Yeah, with the classic against the Ghost at that range after being pushed off is pretty darn good. Paranoia trying to get the angle back as noted. Flash not quite able to do the job though that it was intended to, as there was a counter there for the KO. And how about this? A quick walk-in for Welly, planting this maybe way deeper than you would expect. And it actually allows an opportunity with this plant position for Shondex to hit this route all the way through the defensive spawn, but he's got to go quick.
I'm worried. This happened last time too. Shondex didn't quite find the timing, but looks like might be good this time. Kumi going down, an excellent start.
Ooh, and a late reveal. Paranoia as well to block off Heaven. Everything else has to come over towards Tree. Noted, and the rest of the defense making their way forward very quickly with 3 straight eliminations, leaving Sean as the last one left, and you know where he is. And that is just a dance that is not going to allow him to A, find the kill, or B, get down to find the defuse, or at least stop the defuse, I should say. So how about that? Nightblood Gaming really just squashing some qualms early with that opening pistol.
It's so interesting to me because one of the big things that I was looking forward to this one, I mentioned it in the last map, but Shondex on the flank. Oh man, this is going to be great. I've seen so many clips just throughout Challengers, Shondex finding so many immaculate timings to get that backstab. But this time around against Nightblood Gaming, it feels like these pushes, these lurks are just a couple of seconds too late. While that lurk happens and like, oh yeah, we got to deal with it. You see Nightblood Gaming, they just kind of kick down the door or doing crazy flips through the windows and killing everybody on site in very showy fashion. And then that just leaves Shondex alone so far from the rest of the team. And so it's a little bit unconventional. Someone who is really good at finding those timings has not been doing well against Nightblood Gaming this time. As SAD get ready to repeat and re-hit this A site just off the Savile drone.
Yeah. Defense stacked up. All this Sentinel utility trying to lock down any aggression through Tree. But would you know it, it's SAD Esports through glass, and all of a sudden, this setup is kind of a non-factor. A little bit of extra damage from that fragment down low as well. Screwface trying to hold strong, but Kumi's able to at least get some level of respect towards Hell. And, well, I say some level because all it takes is a little bit of spam to eventually take care of them. Numbers good here for SAD Esports with the breach through glass.
Jerry's kind of heating it up right now. Druin just, with that initial pick, finds the Guardian as well, and suddenly this is so hard for Nightblood Gaming. 2v4 here. Let's see how they're going to be able to do this one, but it's looking like it should be a SAD thrifty.
Yeah, it should be. SAD will be happy about that, I think they would say. Pop flash on the way in. Smiley, hold on a second. If you hit this shot, if you're Son of Car, maybe a chance, but Smiley keeps the play alive. For 1v2, 1v1 in front of him, but oh no! Can we lock down the shots? Is AimLab still a sponsor? Smiley for halfway on the defuse. Secondary attempt on the fight. Shot trying to check it, and goodness gracious, almost whips on that one as well, but Smiley will find 4 and somehow save the round.
Wow, man. Did I curse that? I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, it was such a great start from Druin to kind of make that one happen. And then Smiley, who, once again, we highlighted was a little bit quiet on those last 2 maps, just comes alive in the midst of all of it. Just head on a swivel, able to take out so many of these members just as they walk down and down to this 1v1. Shondex trying to stall as much time as possible. And it all falls apart. Nightblood Gaming, they do walk away with the round, but it isn't pretty. Son of Car will have this outlaw in hand, but that is going to be it. So this bonus is really not a bonus. This is more or less a thrifty round coming in from Nightblood. As SAD, they've got all the rifles in hand, and that's Shondex with 2.
A little bit of trouble trying to stay alive as Nightblood looked like they do want to try to force the issue here. Wow, good spy cam. maybe has an opportunity for Shondex to find maybe more than one more. Wow, that is so good from Sad. So with that, should be the round. A couple of consolation kills, maybe just one for Screwface, but wow, that was an impressive display from Shondex to stay alive in the face of literally an army coming his way at B main.
Yeah, like, I was really impressed with the map control that we see Sad Esports having in the previous map, and we're seeing it be a little bit less rigid and strict and be a little bit more dynamic. Specifically on this round, obviously, it's a little bit of a wash here, but Shondex being able to hold his own amidst all of this flood through, and the timing's just working out perfectly for the rest of the squad to go there. I mean, you've got Bao just playing so deep on the lurk as well. It felt like a very well-coordinated round, and that's not just because they had the weapon advantage there. So I'm looking forward to continuing to see Sad potentially bust out more of those kind of set plays and mid-rounding extremely effectively against this Nightblood Gaming defense.
Yeah. Well, we'll start to feel out what these two teams want to do on this map here in this round. Defensive split will have the Sentinels leaning towards one on either site. Very passive owl drone to late check mid doesn't really reveal too much for Nightblood either. So there will be a level of blind commitment here in terms of where the defense wants to stack. They have guessed correctly for now. That pop flash will keep the attention of Smiley, who also has a Hunter's Fury, keep in mind. So if things start to get nixy on A, could be an opportunity to slow things down with the Hunter's Fury. Going to call it out right through tree, tags onto 2. Do you finish a kill? No, but Kumi almost able to follow up. Instead, the first blood goes to Sundakar on the opposite side of the map.
All the space being taken by Sad. Smiley's still in the back here. Oh, this is going to be the flood through. Let's see where they end up. But first, they got to deal with this. And yeah, who else but Jerwin to shut that one down?
No
Bao with the
way.
alley-oop. And suddenly, this is looking a lot more open.
There's no chance. Kumi, I hate to break it to you, brother, but you're going to have to find at least 2 here, you would think. Nope. Gets a barrel inside his left ear. So that's going to be enough for Sad Esports to have a very comfortable post-plant 4v2. And yeah, NBG is just not even going to bother with this one.
Wow, I mean, hey, when your 2 players, being Jerwin and Bao, are popping off, especially with the amount of confidence that they garnered from that last game, you know, these types of mid-round adjustments, pressuring things are going to work out well. And you see, like, yeah, they've got the initiation from Welly and Joa to try and push it through, but it's just the double peek from Bao and Jerwin that is just so precise to really tie up this map so far. And so great stuff coming out from Sad Esports, Nightblood Gaming. We do see a couple of their ideas in slowing down the lanes, but it's the speed that Sad Esports are just kind of navigating the map with that really can mitigate a lot of those kind of traps and getting stuck in some of these areas, which Nightblood Gaming's composition really wants to kind of force out of Sad.
Well, so far, I hear you, and I agree with you. It's just Sad Esports are finding openings where openings shouldn't be. And the glass play, that's one. This play through middle late is another. And it's like NBG have everything covered. It's just, again, we're just not hitting shots right now. And Jerwin is 6-2 through 4 rounds. So that's another issue that's coming into fruition once again after 2 great maps from him. So I don't know, man. It's one of those things. I mean, again, it's a late elimination game, so you're prone to seeing some woo. But this has been a little bit unexcusable in certain regards. I think if you look back at this in your Nightblood, it's just like, we've got everything covered. We just got to win these fights.
Oh no, the dart! It goes so far wide. Baldo, just too much pressure. Joa going to be up next. Can't quite find the kill, but the flash will at least allow for the escape here. As it's a little bit of a scramble coming for Sad this time. The Screwface is doing a great job of anchoring that B site.
I hate to break it to you, though, Marks. This is still a winnable round for Sad Esports. They only have the Cypher in front of them at B, and Screwface has made the right read of saying, I just need to stay alive. Well, the recon dart will reveal him. One shoulder comes through. Throwing a couple of shots just to say, hey, don't come here. Don't come over here. Don't come over here. And Screwface, well, yep, that's perfect. That's all you need to do. Well, he's just going to try to find a consolation kill, but the help is here. And the chances of a 2v4 have gone out the window with a truck dart from Smiley. Love it. 3-2 to count. Nightblood. Find themselves up early.
Oh, man. The fact that Screwface finds the wallbang kill so early on onto Shondex is a little bit of a tilter. Like, you know, Shondex doing due diligence, just kind of hopping around, spotted immediately. Oh, it's just the Cypher. Now we know that there's not going to be any additional pressure coming through. So Screwface able to scoop that one up. And suddenly Nightblood Gaming back into the lead, just purely off of finding the necessary kills to make this one happen. And like Screwface really just anchoring the site, made it so that Nightblood were set, up for victory there. As, whoa, feeling a little gassy after that last round. I don't know what's going on.
That's funny. Uh-oh, here we go. Yeah, Jerwin up close and personal after the shock dart has been sent for Smiley. No success on that this time. Sad Esports will find free passage to B. And in terms of breaking this down, you really need to get a pick here from Son of Card. The dimensional drift will go a long way. The annihilation could go even further, just banking it around the backside of the arches. But that requires a kill to come through first. And very wisely, Sad Esports are just essentially stacking the box here. So knives are out. And NBG, you can see they're hoping someone's going to overextend, but it's not going to happen. There's the opportunity for annihilation. You would think you need to use it here, but the suppression comes through, so you can't pull it out yet, and time's becoming an issue. Kumi has to force their way on in. Good shots to a second elimination. Can't quite find the third. And Son of Car is just going to bail out with the operator, so Sad will tie us at 3.
And I want to say that I think Sad Esports were really anticipating that the annihilation might come out that last round, because the way that they played, the angles that they played, they just made sure that if someone got kind of scooped up by that fishing pole, they would have more than enough cover to make sure that nothing really happened. You see that they just really just hang out onto the site, play nice and close together so they can mitigate that specific ultimate. And of course, Jerwin just kind of popping off to allow that entry to happen. And then it's just wait out the clock, make it nice and easy for Sad to be able to win that one out. I just want to say, when Jerwin pops those knives, it always turns into a Sad Esports round. We saw it so much on Icebox, and immediately we're being treated to a little bit more of that onto Ascent.
Well, it's going to be a feel out for Sad Esports in the middle of the map. Trapwire is what's going to keep that play contested, if you want to call it that. Aldrone will be slowed down. A couple of spam shots through the wall, back and forth. Ooh. No one really worse for wear. And that's going to lead to a setup, but no, there's just not enough distraction to keep the eyes away from mid-market, and Jerwin will fall first blood tally.
Yeah, I was going to say, just get spotted out there, despite a little bit of good navigation around the trapwire. And now Note just kind of backing up here, respecting the push. The Son of Card just on the other side with the operator in hand. Finds one, but should be able to back out.
Well, Screwface finds another. Nightblood looking comfortable here. And the Dimensional Drift will just scout out that the last remaining players are hanging out. What?
30 seconds left.
Not often how we see a Dimensional Drift exit, but help is here. Jawa's in trouble, locked down, nowhere to go. Kumi up and over, a little Goomba stomp on top of the site, get Nightblood back into the lead.
Yeah, we're really seeing the trap plays kind of getting set up, especially when you bring a deadlock into this composition. Obviously, Nightblood Gaming wanting to start on the defense, going with this double sentinel, but when they know that they kind of need to pounce on Sad Esports, then a lot of that utility gets maximum value. You can use the net to really just anchor people down, and then it gets a lot easier to be able to move through. But yeah, unconventional to say the least. Things kind of go a little bit awry as Sodakar kind of pops out of here, and then just a spray through from Joa makes sure that the Yoru doesn't get more value. But Shift, this is still very close between these two teams. Both of them right now fighting to stay alive for a chance at making it into playoffs. And it's just round after round going both ways for them.
Well, still on full purchase. No command out. Quick play from Sads on a card stops the first, and then the follow from Smiley is good. And now all of a sudden, yeah, I was about to say, you're going to get the res back up, but Jawa's going to be really weak on the reapproach. Still, the numbers are decent. The defense has not stayed away from rotating out of A yet, which actually could benefit them on the timing of helping out this B side, as the Hunter's Fury doesn't really reveal much of anything. And yeah, now you've got that play over to the middle of the map, but Val's able to win his first. That separates Screwface completely, or does it?
Ooh.
He finds one trade and also reads that he's in a little bit of trouble, so he'll get back to safety.
Oh, the Annihilation gets popped as well, and yeah, we'll be able to pick up Welly. It's going to be such a desperate fight into the end, but it all works out well for Nightblood Gaming there. And, you know, I have to call to question the attacking plan coming through from SAD Esports, because we're seeing them get caught multiple rounds now just trying to go for the mid lurk into that B site. And last time there was one person watching Jerwin, this time there were two people watching it, and they're just kind of getting stuck into it. And we haven't seen as much variety in the game plan, whereas Nightblood Gaming, aware of what could be coming through, are making sure to adapt themselves to reinforce some of those weaker areas to really punish SAD Esports into their push. So SAD, Jerwin buying up a rifle into this next one, the hero rifle in hand, but they're going to go up against Son of Karzop.
A dangerous prospect, although he has been a little bit quiet, at least since map number 1. This time he does connect into Jerwin, though. Recon Bolt behind us will give him a second opportunity. Sees his shoulder, tries to hold off on the trigger, Smiley in the corner. Oh, and then one more, but it's just going to be a shoulder tagged onto Shondex, down to 5 HP, nowhere to go. And Nightblood, after this back and forth affair was plaguing us once again like it did at Icebox, that's really a quick set of rounds back to back to back.
And it just feels messy on the initiation for SAD Esports. Okay, good. We are taking a timeout here. I think that's the right move, because there's a couple of pieces that aren't really fitting together when they're moving in onto that site. I've seen now a couple of times the smokes aren't really set up, the flashes aren't going in properly by the time that we see the flood through happen from SAD, and it's just opening up these opportunities then for Nightblood Gaming to just kind of go crazy with it. If you really are relying on Jerwin to find these opening kills, you want to make sure you set up that jet for success.
Well, so far, after kind of pointing to the fact that Son of Kar had not done particularly well in the 1v1 with Jerwin, things are changing very rapidly. And I think in particular, you're starting to see this good kind of more, I won't say it's a more passive reaction from Nightblood, but they're not getting caught as fast by these little trick trap plays by SAD. They're really not even trap plays. It's just, they're just finding openings in spaces that they shouldn't. Like that last round, you see it, the Annihilation shuts down the play through mid. Like it's just, SAD is not getting the same kind of vacancy that they had kind of halfway through this first half, the first quarter, if you will. So things will have to change here. Full weapons are still in purchase. Ultimates are less than great, though, for SAD Esports. So they're going to have to find something that really changes the narrative here in round 10.
And Smiley's been having a great performance. Of course, Sova on Ascent, tale as old as time, but does have the Hunter's Fury back online. And has been getting immense value out of them from the previous one that we've seen. Son of Kar, though, getting aggressive, uses a flash there, but rightfully so. SAD Esports, they're playing more respectfully around Nightblood Gaming. They're not just kind of sending it and hoping for the best. They're playing a little bit more cautiously to try and force out this util, but the deadlock really will trap up that A site.
Well, Paranoia being held by Noted, waiting for Kumi. They're going to combine with the Hunter's Fury, a part of that lockdown, but yeah, there we go. The follow-up is what comes through the GravNet. Didn't really connect the first time, but you get what you came for if you're Nightblood. You're on a 4v3. Fragment and possibly a quick commitment into the A site. Sensors in the way, and now Kumi's on site with that. Good long-range shot from Screwface. Follow from Kumi, also ideal. And there's nowhere to go. 7-3 the count through 10, and Nightblood will have a major economical advantage in this next round.
Yeah, like it really feels that SAD are just getting stuck multiple times. They try to make one thing happen and then they're immediately met with a response. And one thing that I think the desk highlighted as well was Joa with the 0 points has to find value with it, or they need some sort of way to break a lot of these trap plays that are kind of going on here, because when it just comes down to these raw gunfights, sure, SAD Esports kind of have their pop-off moments, but it's a little bit too late because they've just kind of trudged through all of the Sentinel utility that makes it that much more difficult to kind of enter in, and Jerwin has not been able to get activated as a result.
Yeah, true. Well, hard to figure he's going to get activated on this round. Just a stinger in hand for him. So you would think opportunity for Nightblood to get to 8. Now keep in mind, in case you were born yesterday, Nightblood's composition is going to have a lot of questions in terms of what they do on the offensive side. So honestly, if you're sad, if you can find yourself a 4th, I think you're feeling okay about how the half has gone. I mean, you're not, because you didn't find much in the last handful of rounds, but if you can get to 4, I think you'd be all right with that.
All right, let's see how they're going to deal with Screw facing Kumi here. That's the big question.
Oh, they're going to try to flood over the back. Derwin taking some, what looks to be some team damage. That fragment was not well placed. Screwface finds the first. Here comes the opportunity for trades. Pinstripe goes the kill feed, but advantage to Nightblood. Well, you going to stick for the plan. Last 2 members for SAD are going to be stuck on site. Kumi has not seen much in terms of a cross. Maybe a chance here. Yep, there's a little bit of info on where Welly is. Aldrone to follow to confirm that. And yeah, Stingers and Sheriffs at this range just not feeling all that great. Welly's going to be stuck, nowhere to go. Nightblood get their 8th.
Wow, I mean, it was just clean coming through from Nightblood Gaming on that defense there. We see Note go for the teleport right into Wine to get that additional support there. And it just works out so well. Like, there's just doing a really good job of shutting down so many of these avenues and making these uncomfortable situations continuously happen for SAD Esports. Like, Val was able to walk through and at least get 1 trade, but in those long-range battles, the fact that Kumi has not been taken out of Wine, it makes it exactly like it is. I feel like I'm repeating myself. SAD find themselves in a trap where Nightblood Gaming are watching all of the angles necessary to take them down. So, last round in this half, exactly like you said, if SAD can get this one, then there still is hope here. But Sunakar moving up forwards. This operator has been finding great value, does get spotted out, so will have to force out.
Knife also reveals 2 more defenders playing on this crossfire setup. Derwin going quickly. Needs to make a decision at this point, though, and just maybe waits a little bit too long or too little, because the paranoia comes out right after that. And now all of a sudden, SAD Esports are pretty much fully committed to trying to hit this B site. Aldrone not really going to do too much to clear off the backside of the site. And NBG are just teeing off through arches. Yep, that'll work. Sunakar's feeling it. 9-3 half-year marks. Comfortable stuff for Nightblood.
Yeah, it really is. And now all these questions, they're going to have to get answered. Nightblood Gaming on their offense. What is the game plan? They just strung together 6 rounds in a row. Once again, if you are SAD Esports, you got to make sure that you are trying to keep your mental in here. You got to keep nice and focused on what you want to do for this defense to try and make things happen, because honestly speaking, it's not looking pretty good. A great lead of rounds established by Nightblood Gaming. If they take this pistol, it's going to look very similar just on the other side to what we saw on Lotus.
Well, kind of also going back to Lotus, the same conversation is going to start up here, where SAD Esports really need to win this pistol. You drop this, looking at 11-3, not ideal. Bit of a feel out at mid, gonna come through the smoke as Jawa and the rest of the gang are also kind of simultaneously fighting off some action at tree. SAD Esports come out the benefactors on this 4v3 early. You clear off tree, and maybe you can find an exit onto Noted, who realizes that he's in some trouble. So just down to Kumi and Smiley. They will have some feet on the A site, but instead are going to try to out-trade the return back and get this to a 2v2. Good idea, but just a small part of the classic has been seen, and SAD Esports will know that the tree is not available to them.
Oh, the barrier makes that so much more uncomfortable for SAD, because they just have pistols. So you got to start knifing that way through, breaking it down Minecraft style to try and make that one happen. 4v2, the one this retake should be good for SAD.
Question mark?
At this point, I don't know, man.
No, for real though. Knife will come through. It should reveal onto Smiley. So yeah, you're going to know that Kumi's likely playing outside and back through A main. And that will be it. Okay. So a mixy little kerfuffle around the A point. A battle at mid, a battle towards tree. SAD Esports come away benefiting from the trades, and they do what's required. Take the pistol.
Yeah, and turning the question mark into more of an exclamation mark. Woohoo, let's go Sad. Great stuff coming through them to win out this round. And it really came down to them more or less playing together, which I know that sounds super basic, but if you look at how their attacking side went, they were more interested in trying to find these like weird angles, take more of that map control to be able to move through, whereas they were running into the grouped up squad of Nightblood Gaming. And well, when the trades came to trades, Nightblood Gaming were coming out on top, if not finding just multi-kills. So really, it was a good round from Sad. They really have to start to pull these together. 5 rounds separating these two teams currently. Jerwin going for the Outlaw. Needs to try and get a little bit more steam in their sails, but Sunikar starting us out with a disgusting headshot with Sheriff.
That's super helpful because, honestly speaking, you're just trying to play distraction here if you're Screwface. Jerwin is more focused on the crossing angle to main, not necessarily the tight corner, although it is kind of a 2-for-1. Meanwhile, Nightblood will pick up a stinger to work with through tree. But are going to take their time. Whoa, the timing could not be more unideal for Jerwin. He does get out, though. And Shondex, meanwhile, will replace him by getting into B.
And look at the flood through from Nightblood Gaming now. There you go. Jerwin makes up for it. And, well, we'll be trapped here looking for more, but Nightblood Gaming avoid.
Oh, really good shock dart from Smiley. It's his second elimination by way of the utility so far. And he's able to use the stinger that he picked up for another. So 2v2, and they'll get a recognition rather that Welly and Shondex are already playing at B. So the wrap back over to A should lead to a plant. Looks like Sad Esports is also aware of this.
They should get a free plant here. I like where Kumi's going. Stinger in hand. Could find a good timing, especially hearing those footsteps. This backstab could be huge.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, yeah. Kumi's going to get the first and then very wisely stay away from the trade. But Shondex in a 1v2 only has a couple of low health pool members in front of him. Recon dart avoided. Oh, maybe misses the cape there by a moment. Yeah, there's the follow-up. Oh. Yeah, and Shondex stuck completely on top of the site, and NBG bounce back, counter out the anti-eco, and now have a huge lead, 10-4, going into round 15.
That is so painful. Smiley and Kumi as well, both so low HP at the end there. I'm pretty sure a couple of classics would have been more than enough to make that happen, but just honestly, unfortunate timing coming across the board. Like, the fact that Jerwin almost dies there and then gets shock darted into the back, and then immediately the call gets made to just kind of rotate themselves around. Shondex not able to meet up with the rest. It was just an outplay from Nightblood Gaming in the very end of that round. So great job to them to find now double digits. Sad Esports, like, it's just Sheriffs with Joe just using a classic. But Nightblood Gaming, they've got all the rifles that they need. Should be an easy round for them as they get set up to flood onto this A site.
Yeah. Welly. Shock dart at the front door, paranoid to follow. Is there any opportunity to try to take this angle away? Yes, there is. Bao finds one. Flash doesn't get outside the dart cover, though. And just as you look away, a teleport back to safety starts to come in. Outlaw connects her. Screwface not once, but twice. What a flick! And the follow-up, absolutely perfect from Nightblood. Leaves Jerwin by themselves. And he's been quiet this map to this point. And will continue to be that way. Wow, what a set of shots from Screwface, though.
Spaghetti is on the floor. Oh, as soon as I saw the flash go inside of the smoke, I'm like, this is over for Sad Esports. And yeah, I mean, Screwface kind of looking like the Terminator. T2 just walking in onto the site, has the sniper rifle in hand, doesn't even flinch for a second, finds one, immediately flicks over to find another. It's looking so confident from Nightblood Gaming right now, and Sad Esports, they're just struggling to finding a way through. And now, like, Nightblood Gaming, 2 rounds, keep themselves alive, whereas Sad Esports facing elimination if they're not able to force out an overtime. But at this point, it's like you're going up against an impossible task.
Yeah, and I think the thing about that is, like, you know, in certain regards, you look at this purchase, and for Sad Esports, the half starts now. But with the dimensional drift that could potentially come into play, that is usually good for a round by itself. And even more so, Jawa is going to be stuck, nowhere to go. Nice shot from Welly. Does he have more? Opportunity for it. Annihilation will connect onto one. Jerwin has to try to play for the response. Noted following up. And that will leave Sean by themselves into a 1v3.
Last player standing.
Oh, this one's not looking good. Finally, the spike goes down. Let's see if Shondex is able to do this. Kumi, very low HP, but Screwface and Note still full.
I'll see if you can find the first. That's where it obviously starts. The crossfire in hell, though, is not fun to deal with. This route back over to tree. Yep, nope, can't do that. No time. Gets one for free. That's curious. But it looks like Sean is just going to take the operator and run. So 12-4. Elimination point coming up now. NA Esports, the world to battle against.
Yeah, it's not looking good for SAD Esports right now. It's so tough too, because I commented on the fact that they were playing counter to the annihilation on that last round where, the last half where they were playing really smart around it to make sure.
Marks, did I lose you?
That goes there.
I think we may have lost Marks.
Yes, this should do.
But whatever his point was, I bet it was brilliant.
This goes here.
Okay, unless it's just muted on Discord for me. I think we may have lost my boy. My boy Blue. 12-4 account, here we go. Nightblood, not going to take any aggressive steps early here. Jerwin will have the ability to lock things down at mid with that operator that was saved. And, well, could get an opportunity if there is any overextension. It's a little bit of a walk down onto catwalk to tree here. Aldrone will see this. Eyes up now for Jerwin. Good flash off the corner. Jerwin stuck. No more dash. Trying to get away. Not going to be able to. Hunter's Fury was the bailout tool. That won't even find anything. Just one bit of damage. Recon Bolt trying to set up Welly for his own trades, but look how deep that barrier match is. Plus you have the dimensional drift. Everything turning up aces right now for Nightblood. The Bow has a shotgun to the backside arches. Could work out for him, but overwhelmed. And now the neural theft into the 3v2 with the barrier blocking the defensive spawn pathway.
Spike planted.
Not great. We have to do this the hard way, but there are tools available. Most notably a flash, a fragment, and the knife to feel out some of the information for Jawa. But this is taking time, and you have no idea if anyone's playing inside of B mains. That's always going to be on the back of your mind. The knife reveals only one. The paranoia essentially reveals a second. But there is a question mark of is Screwface in the site or not. There's the reveal on denoted. That's the easy first, but the trade is in. Smelling now for the 1v2. Trying to go quickly, and Screwface finally comes out, finds the kill, and that will do it. Nightblood take the series and eliminate SAD Esports from contention here in North American Challengers. Is Mark still alive? You back, Mark? There he is.